Welcome to the inaugural broadcast of Studio 683 News. I'm Shane Sibley, reporting from our studio. In a stunning escalation of the Israel-Hamas conflict, Israel has launched its first ever airstrike on Qatari soil, targeting senior Hamas leadership in the heart of Doha. This unprecedented attack has sent shockwaves through the region and the world, raising fears of broader instability in the Gulf. We'll bring you all the known details as they emerge, but first, let's recap the facts. The strike occurred around 4 p.m. local time in Doha's upscale West Bay Lagoon area. This residential compound was hosting a high-level meeting of Hamas political leaders. Eyewitnesses reported multiple blasts, with smoke billowing from the site, but no widespread damage to surrounding embassies, schools, or residential areas was immediately reported. The Israeli Defense Forces confirmed the operation codenamed Summit of Fire. The attack involved more than 10 Israeli Air Force fighter jets deploying over 10 precision-guided missiles directly onto the target building. The IDF stated these weapons were chosen to minimize civilian casualties, with all impacts occurring within seconds of each other. The primary targets were key Hamas figures gathered to discuss a new U.S.-brokered ceasefire proposal. The proposal called for Hamas to release all remaining hostages within 48 hours in exchange for U.S. assurances against resuming the war. Also, the release of thousands of Palestinian prisoners, plus Israel's gradual withdrawal from Gaza. Among those targeted were Khalil al-Hayya, Khaled Mashaal, Zaher Jabarin, Mohammed Darwish, and Nizar Awadallah. This meeting was part of Qatar's ongoing mediation efforts between Israel, Hamas, and the U.S. According to Hamas and Qatari officials, 6 people were killed in the strike, 5 Hamas members and 1 member of Qatar's internal security force. Hamas reports contact has been lost with 3 additional bodyguards, but their status remains unconfirmed. No civilian bystanders were reported killed, thanks to the precision of the strike. Hamas has insisted that its senior leadership emerged unscathed. Suhail al-Hindi, a Hamas official, confirmed that Khalil al-Hayya and Khaled Mashaal both survived the attack without injury. Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz, expressed optimism about the operation's success, but stopped short of confirming specific hits on top leaders. Netanyahu's office emphasized that this was a wholly independent Israeli action, initiated and executed without foreign involvement, in response to Hamas's role in the October 7th massacre and recent attacks. This also includes a deadly shooting in occupied East Jerusalem and a tank assault in northern Gaza on September 8th. The strike was condemned as a tragic sabotage of ceasefire talks, accusing Israel of undermining peace efforts while negotiators were in the room. A Hamas spokesperson equated the blood of their leaders to that of any Palestinian child. Qatar, a key mediator in the Gaza conflict, reacted with fury, calling the attack a flagrant violation of its sovereignty and international law. The Qatari Foreign Ministry announced a high-level investigation and affirmed zero tolerance for such aggression on its soil. Qatar's Prime Minister, Mohammed Abdulrahman Al Thani, had met with the Hamas negotiators just the day before. The U.S. Embassy in Doha briefly ordered staff to shelter in place. The international community has been swift and largely condemnatory. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres labeled it a breach of Qatar's territorial integrity under the UN Charter. France's President Emmanuel Macron called it unacceptable and warned against escalating into regional war. Britain stated it had no prior knowledge and urged de-escalation. A coalition including Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the UAE, Iran, Egypt, Jordan, and others denounced the strike as a threat to Gulf stability. Even the White House, through Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, criticized Israel, saying the unilateral bombing of a U.S. ally like Qatar does not advance Israel's or America's goals, despite earlier unconfirmed reports of U.S. awareness. This marks a dangerous turning point, as noted by Palestinian Authority figure Mustafa Barghouti, potentially derailing hostage negotiations and Qatar's mediation role. Israeli opposition leader Yair Lapid praised the security forces, but the strike's timing amid fragile truce talks has complicated efforts to end the Gaza war. Studio 683 News will continue monitoring this fast-developing story. Stay with us for live updates, expert analysis, and reactions from the ground in Doha.
6.